This feature is brought to you by JPHMP Direct, an online community for advances in public health. With us today, we have Dr. Amy Eyler to discuss her article called Pay to Play: State Laws Related to High School Sports Participation Fees. This study was funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation's Policies for Action.
Why are some schools beginning to implement sports participation fee policies?
Schools are in a budget crisis all over the country, and they are cutting out things that may not be essential to their core curriculum. And sports programs are expensive and not part of that core curriculum, so many schools are putting the cost onto the athlete or the athlete's parents.
What are the implications of these policies on low-income students and their families?
Well, interestingly, most of the state legislation related to sports participation fees have wording that says if you do charge fees, you have to have a waiver. And the waivers are most likely connected to students that are eligible for free reduced lunches. So there is some policy language that relates to low-income kids and sort of puts them on an equal playing field if they can't pay. The extent to which those are being implemented, we're not really sure.
Some schools offer these fee waiver programs based on family need. Is this an effective approach to mitigating disparities?
Well, somewhat. However, because so many of the policies are linked to free reduced lunch eligibility, there's a whole group of kids who may not qualify for that exactly, but still are in some sort of economic hardship. I think those kids are being most affected by this because they're not covered by the waivers, but certainly the waivers make up for a large chunk of those kids who want to play sports but are eligible for free reduced lunch.
Your findings indicate that 32 states have no statutory guidance on this topic. Is this beneficial or detrimental to the district control over pay-to-play policies?
Well, that depends how you interpret that lack of policy. Some can take it as, well, there's no state guidance, so we can do whatever we want. We can not charge fees or charge different fees, but policies at the state level can sort of put a guidance in place, particularly related to the waivers or what can and can't be charged related to these policies. However, it's more likely to be implemented differently at the district level. So while the state policy can provide guidance, the action happens at the district level.
What role do state lawmakers play in the protections of rights to participate in school activities?
It's really interesting. In Ohio last year, a law was introduced to say that school districts can't charge for sports and extracurricular activities. Although that law didn't pass, I think it sends a good message that with states that the majority of districts are charging these prices and increasing the prices, I think it's really putting children at a disadvantage and taking away an essential opportunity to be physically active. So state lawmakers can have a really big impact, both positively and negatively.
What are the benefits of extracurricular activities, including sports, in the physical and mental development of students?
Sports participation is seen as a positive youth development activity, and not only does it increase physical activity and a lot of the muscle development and things that come with sports and fitness, there is literature out there that says risky behavior is reduced by those that participate in sports at a high school level. Things like attendance, leadership behavior, and there's been a couple studies that have looked over time at the kind of jobs that people get after high school, and it seems as if there is higher income and better career success for those that participated in sports and gain these skills that they can take throughout their life.
Thank you for listening to this feature with guest Dr. Amy Eyler, Associate Professor for Public Health at Washington University in St. Louis. For the full article and related content, please visit journals.lww.com/JPHMP.